Hello everyone, Teacher Helen here. We are going to be looking at concepts of economics. We are looking at 5 major concepts of economics. Let's go into it. All right. Let's take our positive affirmation. My mind is blessed. I have the mind of God. Therefore, I am healthy and I'm wise in every area of my life. The first concept of economics we must look at is human wants. Want or human wants. Want is simply the insatiable desire of human beings to own goods and services that gives maximum satisfaction. Insatiable desire of human beings to own goods and services that gives maximum satisfaction. Human beings want to own everything. Even the wealthiest man in the world wants to own more. I build a house, I want to build another house. I have a mansion, I want to own more mansions. I buy a car, I want to buy more cars. So human beings have numerous human wants that they want to satisfy. Hence, human want is regarded as the insatiable desire. Insatiable means that we cannot be satisfied. Insatiable desires of human beings to own goods and services that gives maximum satisfaction. Now, let's quickly rush into the second concept of economics, which is, let's take choice first. Let's take scarcity, because that's also very important. What is scarcity? When we talk about scarcity, remember we say that human beings have insatiable desires to own numerous goods and services. So when we talk about scarcity simply means limited in supply in economics. Limited in supply, meaning that the resources to satisfy those numerous human wants are scarce. They are limited in supply relative to their wants. So scarcity can be defined as the limited supply of resources used in the satisfaction of human wants. I want to own 10 houses, but the financial resources available to me can only afford me 5 houses. So it means my financial resources is scarce. This is one of the major reasons for the study of economics. Let us now move on to, before we move on to scale of preference, I want us to note some things. All right. Now, why is scarcity a fundamental problem in economics? I'm going to read it out to you. It says, this is because economics seeks to study the relationship between ends and scarce means. Do you remember Robert C. Robbins' definition? It says, economics is a social science that studies human behavior as a relationship between ends and scarce means, which have alternative uses. So economics seeks to study the relationship between ends and scarce means. When ends is our what? Numerous human wants. Scarce means is our limited resources. So economics is concerned with how to allocate those limited resources to those competing wants. This is why the study scarcity is a fundamental problem in economics. How can the government of every country solve their problem of scarcity? This is also a very important question. That is why I brought it out. Every government is faced with the problem of scarcity. No country has it all. No country has it all. This is one of the reasons for international trade. Nigeria is rich in agriculture, but we are not so advanced in technology. So there is a need for us to exchange our agricultural product with the technologies of other high-tech countries or other countries that are advanced in technology. Nigeria has crude oil, but unfortunately, maybe we don't have industrial goods. So we need to exchange our oil with a country that has industrial goods, international trade. So no country has it all. So how can government of countries solve the problem of scarcity? the first thing they have to do is to draw up a scale of preference. Sorry, I'm deviating, but I feel this is important. Let me just quickly talk about it. They need to draw up a scale of preference. That's why I told you scarcity and choice are the twin problem in economics. All right? So, government has to draw up what is called a scale of preference. We'll talk about that later. And in drawing up a scale of preference, they must arrange their want according to how important those wants are to them. That is, the most pressing need must be top priority on their list. And then when they've done that, then they make a choice and choose the one to satisfy first with the resources available to them at that particular moment. Do we get this? So from there, let's move to the third concept of economics, which is scale of preference. Listen and listen good. Now, when we talk about scale of preference, we said scale of preference is a list of unsatisfied wants. Let's take it again. A list of unsatisfied wants arranged in order of preference. Arranged in order of preference. A list of unsatisfied wants arranged in order of preference. That's just what I talked about when government arrange their need. Okay, for instance, on their for Nigeria, let's use Nigeria as an example. On our list of preference, we have education as top priority, we have security, we have food, then we have technology, number 4, we have maybe clothing and textile. What that means is that the first thing the government of Nigeria must try to satisfy is the need for education, followed by food security, then security. If government has only the resources to satisfy these 3, then he must forego the other 2, which is technology, clothing and textile, and satisfy the first 3 on his list of preference. Remember, your list of preference must be arranged in order of relative importance. For instance, if you look at the list of preference, I'll put this up so that you better understand. Just take a screenshot and go through it on it. The list of preference is an individual thing. It can be on a country basis or an individual thing. It means my list of the preference will be different from your list of preference. The first most important one I want to satisfy on my list of preference will be different from your first 3 most important wants. Let's take this of Mr. Babatunde. So Mr. Babatunde needs a pressing iron, he needs a stove, he needs a fan, he needs a cap, a shirt, and shoe. And he only has 10,000 naira disposable income. He only has 10,000 naira disposable income. And he must manage that 10,000 naira to satisfy his most pressing need and forego the other. That is why a scale of preference is referred to as a list of unsatisfied wants arranged in order of importance. All right, thank you. Now let's quickly rush into the importance of scale of preference. I'm going to highlight it very quickly. It will be on your screen. Please screenshot and take it up. The first importance of scale of preference is 1, it helps us to rank our needs according to its importance, how important your needs is. 2, it helps consumers to be financially prudent in their spending. 3, it helps us to identify our highest priority. 4, it helps us to make a rational choice as to which one to be satisfied. 5, it helps us to better utilize our limited resources. It helps us to, that's number 5, it helps us to efficiently allocate our scarce resources to our most pressing need, and also helps us to maximize our satisfaction. That takes us to number 4, which is choice. This is the fourth concept of economics: choice. Choice. Choice is simply a system of selecting or picking out of a number of alternatives. You have a shoe, you have a shirt, you have a face cap, and you have to make a choice. It means that you have to choose that which is more important to you. All right. So choice is a system of selecting or picking out of a number of alternatives. It's a system of picking the one to be satisfied immediately with the limited resources available to you. All right. That is basically all on choice. Then, lastly, we are going to be looking at opportunity cost. Now, we cannot talk about opportunity cost without talking about money cost. We cannot talk about opportunity cost without talking about money cost. Opportunity cost is simply the expression of cost in terms of foregone alternative. Expression of cost in terms of foregone alternative. Simply put, for better understanding, it is the satisfaction of one want at the expense of another. Satisfaction of one want at the expense of another. If we talked about earlier, we talked about I want a face cap, I want a shirt, I want a shoe, I want a wristwatch. Unfortunately, I have just, let's use dollars. I have $2, and each item costs $1 each. And I have 4 items I need to satisfy. Now, the first item I mentioned is my most important, followed by the second item. What that means is that I'll be getting the first face cap and a t-shirt. I have satisfied my want for a face cap. I have satisfied my want for a t-shirt. Now I'm going to abandon my want for a wristwatch and the other last one on the line. That is the satisfaction of one want at the expense of another. That is what opportunity cost, the expression of cost in terms of foregone alternative. I hope we are together. I hope I'm not so fast, please. Bear with me. All right, let's now look at money cost. Or better still, let me differentiate between money cost and opportunity cost. Money cost is simply the total amount used in acquisition of a particular item, the amount used in purchasing a particular item. Money cost is opportunity forgone. Opportunity cost is sacrifice alternative. Money cost is cost of purchasing a commodity. Opportunity cost is sacrifice alternative. Money cost is cost of purchasing a commodity. Let me explain. I have 500 naira. Let's assume I'm in high school. I have 500 naira with me. I have 2 needs that I need to satisfy. All right. I have the need for food because I am hungry. I need to eat lunch badly. I also need to pay for my lesson tuition, and they both cost 500 naira each. Now, if I decide to forego, to leave food and pay for my lesson, it means that I have paid for my lesson. But what did it cost me to pay for lesson? It cost me a rumbling stomach because I'm going to be hungry the whole day. If I also decide to eat food, which is also 500 naira, I have satisfied my stomach, but I will not be able to take my lessons because that is what is cost me to eat. So it means even when my stomach is filled, I'm not going to have any lessons for that day because I cannot afford it. The money that was meant for the lesson have been used to satisfy my need for food. So my need for food is my what? My money cost. My need to pay for my lesson tuition is my opportunity forgone. It means that I have left the need to pay for my lesson and I have been able to satisfy my need for food. Or if I paid for my lesson and I'm left to deal with a grumbling stomach, it means I have satisfied my need to pay for my lesson tuition. And it has cost me. What it cost me is a rumbling stomach. So opportunity cost has to do with sacrifice alternative. What did you sacrifice to satisfy the other want? Why money cost has to do with what is the actual amount of money spent to acquire a particular thing. As we go further in these lessons, you understand better. So let's not take this too far. Now, I want us to quickly look at importance of opportunity cost. This video is long, but I'm sorry. Importance of opportunity cost to individual, to government, and to firms. These are the three economic units in economics, okay? To individual, opportunity cost helps you to make a wise choice as to which one to satisfy. It also helps you to make efficient use of the limited resources available to you. What of firms? To firm, it helps in production process. It helps every firm to determine the right production or the way to go in their production process. The technique of production. Technique of production here has to do with labor intensive or capital intensive. Will it be better for a firm to make use of machineries in production, or will it be more cost efficient for them to employ more human labor? So these are the choices the opportunity cost gives you as a firm. It also helps us to make a rational decision in the best production or how to produce and in what quantity to produce. Lastly, two importance of opportunity cost to government. This is where we stop, okay? Preparation of budget and decision making. Opportunity cost will help a government to determine. It will help a government to determine what sector to allocate resources to. What sector needs immediate attention? Should it be the agricultural sector or the finance sector or the medical sector? All right. It will also help a budget, which is the second importance of opportunity cost to government. It helps a government to prepare its annual budget and to know the right sectors to allocate its natural resources and financial resources. This is where I draw the curtains today. Thank you for being in class. While at it, please state and explain 5 concepts of economics. Till I come your way next time, remain blessed. Remember, you're wise, you're intelligent, and learning comes easy to you. Ciao.